Hello and welcome. It's Chrisanne. I'm coming at you from Elemental Energies with Chrisanne. Look at this cute little thing I made that we're going to be making together using Bazooka bubblegum comics. Remember these? When you bought Bazooka bubblegum, you got these little comics inside. I found a really cool, funky, it's like a secondhand thrift, funky kind of store. It's very artsy too. And she was selling these. So I bought a couple of them. So we're going to make, I was trying to think different things that I could make. This is one of the things I came up with. So it's a little mini notebook, and it's made with a large index card. That is the sort of basis for the notebook. And this is Dollar Tree paper that I've cut and added here. This, if you've been watching all my hauls, I got a whole bunch of these in one of my hauls quite a while back. So I'm using the things that I got in the hauls. And then this is paper that I had decorated with my gel press. And then, of course, we're using book page that I had decorated a long time ago with my gel press, some music page, some washi tape, some gems that are still drying, some stickers, only one sticker and some washi tape from Temu. Everything else is found objects from different thrift shops or things that I had around or things that I got from my dump/local recycle center. And I think these large index cards, I actually get these at Walmart. So let's get cracking. I mean, I'm sure we've all made something very comparable and similar, but it's using the Bazooka bubblegum little comic strip that I think is kind of cute. I think for life, I'm going to be sporadically making things to add to my son's journal. And I had bought these to add little tchotchkes and different little things to add to my son's journal because I didn't want anything overly flowery. I wanted something a little bit more on the applicable to a young man kind of thing. This is something he would be interested in. He was with me when I bought them. He didn't know what I was doing with them, but he's kind of having fun looking through the journal and going, I was with you when you bought that. I was with you when you bought that, because I've already given him the journal, and I did tell him I will probably be working on this for life. So he is understanding of that. Because I'm doing all the writing in the journal. I'm doing all the funny stories and, all that type of stuff. So anyways, let's make these. So what I'm doing is I am using a large index card. These are, how big are these? 5 by 8 inches. You get 100 of them. I want to say it was in the $5 range, but don't quote me on that because I don't know. And all the prices are going right up right now. So it doesn't matter what I paid. It's going to be different next week, in all honesty. So what I did is I took my large index card. I folded it in half. Let me grab my bone folder. Let me move my paper cutter first of all. Whoops. And let me move... I have a whole stack of paper here that I don't need here. Let me move that out of the way. And this thing that I'm working on right here, I had got this on Temu a long time ago. It's a very large mouse pad. So when I'm stamping, because I do want to do some stamping on some of these, when I'm stamping, this gives me a little bit of cushion when I'm using an unmounted stamp that may not have cushion on it. So that's the trick. You can use a mouse pad under your paper and it gives you just ever so slight little bit of a cushion, little bit of a give. It's a trick that I've used for years. Okay. So for me, I want to make sure I have the red line at the top. Next thing I'm going to do, I have a whole bunch of these papers. This is 4 inches. This is 4 inches, and I've cut these between 2 inches and smidge under 2 inches. So what I'm going to do is this is going to get glued in here, and this is going to be the pocket holder. So what I am going to do is I am going to use my corner rounder, and I'm going to cut this first, and I am going to cut these. Then I just kind of place it into place. Sometimes I cut it with it in there, but depending on, I made a mess, depending on how thick it all is, sometimes it doesn't always cut easily. I do want to ink this up. Paper everywhere here. Glue, let's move that. Let's grab we don't need this right now, so let's get that out of the way. Oops, oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm bonging my camera. Okay, it's all my papers. It's all my mess. Okay. Let's ink all this up. So these papers I made with my gel press, and I did videos on these during the summer out in my summer setup out on my deck. So you can go back and see how I did all of that. This particular one is using a gel press decorated gel plate, as well as the regular jelly plate. They sell decorated ones now too that you can imprint into the larger blank ones. So this is one of the decorated ones. And I'm just inking this up using walnut stain. I like to have a whole bunch of little notebooks when I'm making journals. It's nice to have things to tuck into all those pockets and corner tucks and all those things. I do like the lines to show because that's another journaling spot. See, now that I pre-cut that, I can kind of decide and pick where I want to glue that into. And I am using my art glitter glue. I just ordered a brand new art glitter glue, one for me and one for my mom. The tariffs are starting tomorrow. I don't know what it's going to affect. I do use that glue. My mother uses that glue, so I want to make sure I have enough on hand. After that purchase, I'll probably have enough for a year's supply because I do have some like extra bottles. And I want to choose, so this has a lot of reds in it. Actually, maybe that one. I don't know. Let's see. These are cardstock tags that I had got at Savers in one of my hauls quite a while back. You know, I'm just going to go with this one. Although I wanted something with purple in it too. Although I could do neutral and just go with that, but let's see again. Yeah, we'll just do this one. Sort of be done with it. I'm not going to put a fiber at the top. You can if you want to. I have a whole bunch of these papers that I got from this this paper pad from Dollar Tree, and they are 4x6. So I cut it down at the 3-inch mark, and I got 2 sort of packs, so to speak. I did one of each color. That's all I did. Now, where did I put my stapler? Oh, I actually put it away. That's amazing. Right there, that's amazing. Let's see. You know, there is a red paper in here, I thought. Here it is. Yeah, let's put that on the outside. And I kind of use these lines to decide how I want to line this up. And I'm using my copper staples. I like my copper staples. I got them on Temu a long time ago. I think they're pretty. Okay, inside, done. I'm good with that. Now let's do the outside. That's my favorite part. So for the outside, I have a bunch of dictionary book page and stuff here. So I'm going to do some dictionary page on the outside. I love this part. So let's come in right here. I don't know why I'm not ripping straight. There we go. That's considerably better. Now this is dictionary page, so it's a lot thinner. So if you've been following my page, you know my son has a girlfriend. She's a lovely girl. He's having fun. So I said to him today, or yesterday, I said to him yesterday, so are you going to ask her to the prom? Because the prom's in like 2 months. And I figure you have to have time to get a dress and, you know, all that stuff. So I said, are you going to ask her to the prom? Yeah, I'll probably ask her. I said, okay, well, nowadays they do like a lot of fanfare and stuff like that when you ask somebody to go to the prom. Do you want a card or something? You know, I always have like stuff made. Nah, just going to ask her. Like, okay, whatever. No, not my thing, but that's his decision, you know. So he asked her to go to the prom. She said yes. So that was all well and good. He came home from school and he's like, yeah, I asked her to go to the prom. She said yes. I said, okay, that's great. So figuring, okay, we have time. We'll find a suit. I found a suit jacket a little over a month ago at Salvation Army. And it was, you know, they have certain like tag colors that are on sale. And I bought it when it was one of those whatever color tag colors that were on sale. So the suit jacket, which is beautiful, was 99 cents. And I said to him, we need to get this when we find it. And he agreed because he's sort of like an oddball size. Oops, this is what I want. So when he got home, you know, we were talking about all that. Well, later on, she called him and she said, hey, do you want to go with me to the, can we get it straight? The snowflake ball. And he's like, what the heck is a snowflake ball? He's not into this stuff at all. And he's never gone to school full time. So he doesn't really like know what some of these things are. And he doesn't really have any friends at school because kids don't really know him. They don't, I don't know. They don't, he's a lot more mature than the other kids. So, I mean, he talks to them in his classes and stuff, but nobody really hangs around with him. He's tried and it's not happening. So he doesn't really know a lot of this stuff other than if his teacher's explaining to him, and the secretary used to be his private tutor. So she will fill him in on some things and like, hey, heads up. This is like, he didn't even know what homecoming was. Like, they had to explain it to him. And he came home and asked me, he's like, what the heck is this thing called homecoming? I'm like, well, it's kind of centered around football, which he's not into sports at all because we have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and we can't play sports because we dislocate and sublux joints daily. And because of that, he chose to never kind of get into sports. And, that was perfectly fine with me because I'm not into sports at all. So he's not into sports. He figured if I can't play it, I don't want to get into it. It was just kind of like an emotional thing for him. So I fully agreed and whatever. So anyways, he didn't know what all these things were. How does this go? I always get this one upside down. I think I have to stamp it on something to see. Let me grab that pad of paper. You know what? I'll stamp it on the back. So he doesn't know what these things are. So she I don't know if she called him or she texted him tonight. And she's like, hey, do you want to go to the snowflake ball? And apparently he's like, I don't really know what that is. Tell me what it is. So she did. And he's like, yeah, okay, I guess so. So he's texting her. He's talking to me. He's like, what are these things? I'm like, I don't know. It's a dance. Oh, it goes this way. So this is where my kid is such an old man. So she said to him, I know dancing's not your thing. I know you're not really into like dances and stuff like that. And I know you're going with me just, to appease me. So she says, how about I pay for the tickets? He says to me, she's paying. I'm all about that. So I'm going. I'm like, you are such a cheapskate. And so he is all excited now to go. And I said, hey, heads up. Oh, I should have taken that inside stuff out. Oh, well. I said, heads up. It's a dance. You're going to have to dance. And he went to the prom last year with a different gal. And she wasn't into dancing. She wasn't into like any of it. So he never really had to, do those things. So I said, you're going to have to dance. I said, how about I show you some dancing? He's like, well, I went on YouTube last year before I went to the prom. I'm probably going to go on YouTube again and I'll just look up some dances. I said, okay, that's what you want to do. That's fine. So we're kind of laughing about, number one, how cheap he is. And number two, he's going to have to actually dance. So we're going to go out tomorrow. I said, as soon as you come home, we have to go out. We're going to go to like Goodwill and Savers and Salvation Army and all those places to look for a suit. He's short. So his legs, I'm going to have to hem anything we buy. I'm going to have to hem it. So I'm just looking for the waist. If I can get like a full suit, fine. Otherwise, we already have that suit jacket. So I don't know. We will see. See what we can do. Let me see. I have a couple washies here. No, I don't want that one. I'll go back to these. Oh. It's in 2 weeks. It's less than 2 weeks. It's not this Sunday. It's next Sunday. I mean, Friday. It's not this Friday. It's next Friday. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I said, does she have a dress? And he says, yeah. I asked her. Her dress is white because for the last gal he went with at the prom, I made her a wrist corsage and I made my son a matching flower thing that went in the pocket of his suit. And I made it all out of polymer clay and silk flowers, so it could last forever and be reusable. So I said, you want me to do that again? He's like, yeah. So I said, okay. When we're out tomorrow, I'm going to need to go to Joann's, get some more clay. He's like, oh, you want to go to Joann's? Like, any excuse I can get to go to Joann's. Which, hello? Yeah. So, that's the deal. So I'm doing 2 rows of this washi. And then what I did in the last one is I did this metallic pen right down the middle between them to add a little bit of metallic right here. I don't know if you can kind of tell it's metallic, but it is. So tomorrow we are going to be on the hunt for a suit. Her dress is white, so that should be sort of easy enough to match, like with a tie and, all that fun stuff. Whoops, let me trim this. And, his weight is up and down. And he had a suit last year for the prom, but, he has Crohn's. So he's lost 30 pounds. And that suit doesn't even remotely fit him anymore. And I did hem the legs last year, which is not a big deal to me whatsoever. I hand sew. So I'm going to hand sew that. Hopefully we can get a suit tomorrow. So while I'm at Joann's, I can pick up some thread, etc. The suit jacket that we got him before is gray with a blue pinstripe in it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful jacket. So we have a lot of possibilities for pants. I don't know. I don't think they get super fancy anymore. I mean, frankly, if he just got black pants or gray pants, he'd probably be fine. I don't know. Grab some of these. Let me grab some music paper. So we're going to go on the hunt. We're going to go to all the secondhand stores tomorrow, which both of us love. Any excuse to do that, we are all about it. Put that one there. So, and then there's a really, 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 really good, authentic Mexican restaurant that I'm looking for my other one of these. Where did I just put it? Oh, here it is. There's a really good authentic Mexican restaurant that we aren't normally down there during the times that it's open. So hopefully we will be in the area for that. And I'm like, hey, they're open. Do you want to go there? And he's like, yeah, we'll see. It depends on if we can find a suit and, all that fun stuff. So, I don't know. There's a Walmart down there, too. So, I might pop into Walmart. If we can't get a shirt for him, we might pop into Walmart for that. And Savers has really good ties. Savers is so much more money than some of these other ones. But they do have really nice ties. So we might be bebopping all over the place. It's all basically in the same town, but it's a massive town. I think I'm going to put that one there. I mean, it's like half hour, 45 minutes from our house. And then it's massive. Like, we go to Portsmouth. So all of that is so spread out that that's a distance from us. We go to Portsmouth, New Hampshire. So there's no tax. Save on tax on what you purchase, because New Hampshire doesn't have a sales tax, which helps us out immensely. And, I mean, it's not like everything is super expensive, but it adds up. And, I mean, yeah, we have Goodwills in Maine, but they're not as good as the ones there. I have found that the glue kind of looks funny and stays looking funny through the Bazooka thing. And I'm going to put some gems on this. So that's the plan for tomorrow. As soon as he gets home from school, I said, we're getting in the car. We're heading to Portsmouth. And, of course, he's all about going to all the Goodwill places. Let's see. Let's use some blue ones. So, that's the plan for tomorrow. Should be fun. And he's like, I'm going to go to this dance. I said, you know you're going to have to dance with her. Like, actually dance. He's like, yeah, I know. Because she's into all that. He's not. But she is. So. And last time when he went to the prom, the gal he went with didn't really want to stay. They kind of went, made an appearance, and left. And I'm like, that's not going to be this one, because she's very sociable. And she knows a lot of people because she does the school plays. So I said, you are going to be going to all of this stuff, having to do more than make an appearance. So I was kind of hoping he could make some more friends through her. And he kind of is. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I always like to have an odd number, not an even number. So there. That's my little notebook with my Bazooka gum. I think they're kind of cute. Very simple. You can get much more elaborate if you want. Get your own Bazooka gum or go to these funky little stores and get them from recycled places. Well, thanks so much for tuning in. Come back in 2 weeks. I'll tell you how the dance went. Fingers crossed that it goes well. I think it's going to go well. I think they're going to have a good time. And fingers crossed that we find a really nice suit at a reasonable price tomorrow, because spending a lot of money on clothes with a kid whose weight is up, down, up, down, up, down, to no fault of his. I've learned my lesson. I get it at the secondhand stores. And he's okay with that. So that's why we go. So thank you so much for tuning in. Love to see these. If you get some of these made, if you have any of these, you can tag me on Instagram, Chrisanne1234. I'm on Blue Sky, Chrisanne1234. And I'm on Facebook, Elemental Energies with Chrisanne. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care. Be free. Oh, and subscribe to my channel. I post every single day. Take care.